So Rab invited us to their showroom today to talk to one of their designers about the Veil XP. So I'm sat here with Ben. Yes, there are two of us here. But Ben, tell us a little bit about your role at Rab, and then we'll get stuck into the Veil XP.
Yep, I'm Ben. I'm one of the equipment designers at Rab. I've been here for around 6 years. I probably specialise on packs, but I also work on different other pieces of equipment as well.
And the Veil XP is one of your packs that you've helped design. Was the process? I'm guessing it wasn't entirely down to you. There was a whole team behind it, or?
Yeah, for sure. So for spring summer 25, we've done the new Veil XP. This is a new ultra running, fast packing pack. Yep, you're right, it wasn't just me working on it. We had a team of people from materials team to product developers, QC team, and also a big team out in the Far East as well. So working all together to come up with this new pack.
So a real collaborative effort with a lot of moving parts, a lot of people involved in making this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a team effort, I would say. Yeah.
And just before we get stuck into the pack specifically, can you just give a very quick rundown of the features? So you said that it's a little bit more of a fast packing kind of running style pack, but are there any specific call outs that make it a little bit different than anything else that Rab maybe have made previously?
Yeah, I think let's grab the pack. So obviously I think the big thing with this pack, which makes it different to what else is on the market, is actually being waterproof. So this has been tested to IPX4. So this is great for all British weather, I would say, but also weather throughout where we are in the world. I think the things we had in mind for using this was on-the-go storage as well.
Sure.
So as you're moving fast in the mountains, you don't want to keep stopping and starting. So the on-the-go storage was really important. So big dump pockets on the outside, chest pockets, and then also be able to carry Z poles at the front, but also be able to carry them down the side in the dedicated pole sleeves as well.
And the pole sleeve carry is quite an interesting feature. It might be out there on a few other packs in the market, but it's quite an innovative solution for pole storage.
Yeah, I think with a pack like this, you are going to be moving quicker than, say, hiking, for instance. So you could be running up and downhill. So having something which is really stable on the pack, so it doesn't interrupt how you're running, was really important. So we came up with a solution where we got these actually dedicated sleeves on the outside where your poles just drop into.
Sure.
So they're dead easy to get in and out whenever you need them. So yeah, that's something we're really proud of, really.
So talk us through the design process a little bit of how you ended up at the Veil XP. Like, how many iterations do you end up running through before you've got something like this final product here in front of us? You know, what's the kind of process that you go through?
Yeah, it's actually quite a long process. It actually takes roughly around 2 years, really. So first we have to identify who it's for, and that's the one really important bit. So it's obviously making sure we design it for the right person.
Sure.
And then once we've come up with a bit of a brief, working with our product management team, we will then get drawing and getting creative. So this is where actually I might hand draw things, or I might draw things on the computer until something sticks and something I'm really happy with. And once we've got that, and that's where you actually start to make stuff and actually make things from 2D to 3D. So the next step was what we did for this project. We actually made the first few samples in the UK upstairs in our workshop. We made cardboard blocks of the actual shape to make sure we're happy with it, and then we made a sample in the UK, and actually every sample we made we actually went out and used and tested as well to really refine kind of the process. Along that kind of sort of sampling and designing process, we had to work on colour and material choices as well, to make sure that we're picking the right appropriate materials for the end use as well.
Picking those materials, a lot of that process was also done in-house in the Rab lab.
100%, yeah. So we have a dedicated team who are material specialists. Their knowledge is fantastic. So we can give them a brief of what type of materials we want to use for this kind of end for this project, and they'll go and find the right solution, and also the right coatings as well. Because I've said this pack is waterproof, we had to put a special coat on the inside so it can be taped. Then also it's got a silicone coating on the outside so it beads off water and repels water really well.
Sounds like that must have been quite a challenge to actually get that to work with all of the moving parts of a pack with sort of very soft materials. That's got to be a challenge.
Yeah, there's a fine balance because obviously you want something which is really lightweight, but you also need something which is durable and it's going to last over, you know, a lifetime of use. So it's a fine balance of picking the right materials. But I think one challenge was actually because it is taped, is actually refining the details of the product itself so it can be taped. So when you tape something, you generally don't want to put webbing into seams on a pack. That's quite normal. So it's kind of find innovative solutions around that.
All of that process sounds really interesting, and the material specialists that you guys have got on board, they sound like really interesting people to be able to work with, and sort of based on the feedback that you're giving them in the testing process, just for them to then be able to come up with a specific material for a specific location. Because just looking at that pack visually, there's quite a few different material elements to it. The mind boggles. I don't think I could comprehend how something like that would end up coming together.
I think one of the biggest things actually in the carry system is actually we came up with this new solution for the carry system. So we've actually got this something called a 3D spacer mesh. But then we put our mono mesh over the top, and that's basically creating this really unique carry system where it wicks away the moisture from your back, but also doesn't hold the moisture either. So it also makes it feel drier than, say, a traditional kind of spacer mesh. So this was quite unique and something which we kind of had I would say sort of iterations of really fine tuning the right kind of materials to use on this one to get it work. So this is something we're really kind of happy with, and it's quite very unique for this pack as well.
And despite you saying that it's unique for this pack, is that something that you're going to draw on moving forward for future packs that we might see in some other designs, or is it going to be something that's more to like the Veil line because it's a little bit more of a specific product?
Yeah, I would probably say it all depends on the products coming forward. It's like a crystal ball, but it's something we, as a design team, we always look back of previous projects and see how we can maybe use something, but then maybe elevate it for the next one. So maybe in a couple of years' time, you might see something similar to this, but hopefully it'll be better.
So you mentioned some of the iterations that you've worked on into this pack. Have you got any sort of prototypes or anything like that you can show us of the Veil XP that we can have a look at? Yeah,
we've definitely got the original sample I made in the UK, which then got used for testing and stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah, we've got that, which is great to see. And then I'd say we probably made around 5 or 6 different samples, and each one got tested with slight improvements each time to eventually we get to the product where we are here today with.
So how polished is that first prototype compared to the final iteration of the Veil XP? Like, is it a almost finished product that just needed refinement, or is it sort of very rough and ready compared to something like this that's sort of ready for the consumer?
Yeah, so the colours and there's no prints on it, but it does look like a genuine pack. It's got no holes in it. All the stitch lines are finished because we only test it, so it has to perform particularly well. So we have to make sure that the samples we make are a good standard.
Sure.
But yeah, they look like a sample, but they perform well.
When you're designing something like this, you've obviously got an expansive pack range, both in Rab and Low Alpine. Are there any other models that you will look to for inspiration from that, or sort of previous generations of something like the Veil that you draw on, or was something like this a completely new product from the ground up?
Because we wanted to expand on the Veil range, so a lot of the inspiration was taken from the Veils, and now you can see that from the mono mesh used on the carry system, which, because obviously the mono mesh has been great because it doesn't bounce, it doesn't absorb moisture, like I've already said. But there was also other areas where we took inspiration, so like the muon packs, for instance, which I know the end use and it's very different, but on the styling and also how the on-the-go storage aspect of the packs, we want to move over onto the new Veil XP. So there's little bits we can pick, which we can eventually get to the product it is today.
And how much of the product design process goes into the overall aesthetic of the product versus pure functionality? Because as you mentioned, like getting design elements from something like the muon, you kind of have a a brand aesthetic that you're sort of going towards? Does that dictate some of the feature placements on a pack like this, or is it very much a feature-led first and then the aesthetic comes afterwards that gets a little bit of polish?
I would say it's about 50-50. I think it's really important that all our packs look beautiful. They're a Rab pack at the end of the day, and they've got to be really desirable, but also they need to be really functional and work as well, be great in the mountains. So for us, it's a 50-50 kind of split of making sure that something looks great, but also performs at the very best, no matter how you're using it. So they're both really important to us. And that's kind of, I would say, the Rab sweet spot is kind of like beautiful items, but also performs extremely well.
Sure, so it's a combination of design and aesthetic coming together to make a product that works and looks good.
Yeah.
Because rule number one, you've got to look good.
You've got to look good on the mountains.
Yeah. And that's something that seemingly has paid off because the Veil XP has won Products of the Year award with the OIA.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
How excited were you when you found out
Yeah,
about that?
it was pretty big. I was actually taken back by it, to be honest. My boss kind of called me to tell me, which was really cool. We kind of knew that we were on the right track because it also won ISPO award as well a couple of months beforehand. So yeah, it's great. It's kind of like the big industry award for the UK. So yeah, super psyched on it.
Yeah, I think you're underplaying that a little bit because it's won both an international award and a UK specific award. It's quite a big deal.
Yeah.
That as an achievement for a pack like this is going to make you feel pretty good being part of that design process.
Yeah. It makes you cement that you're doing the right thing. I think they're definitely on the right track.
Yeah, it points you in the right direction.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a springboard for next season to make sure we keep on track.
But that's pretty big boots to fill when it comes to any new products that you release or any updates now.
Yeah.
Now that you know that you've got that standard.
Yeah.
Trying to improve on that, or at least meet that level.
Yeah, we could do our best, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you for that. Sounds like a really interesting pack, and can't wait to actually get out and use one. But I just want to get my hands on that prototype now because I'm going to pick it apart and see what differences I can find between this and that, because if that's 6 generations different, I'll bet a lot of the refinements are very, very specific. It's going to be quite difficult to spot some of them.
Yeah, I would say the shape's quite similar, but the actual features are kind of moved on slowly.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Ben, really appreciate your time in talking us through the Veil XP, and can't wait to see what you come out with next.
No problem. Hope everyone enjoys it.
Should have done that. That didn't work. That didn't work. Didn't work. My shoes smell like nice. I suppose. No, cargo's.
Cargo's, yeah.
Cargo 95. Nice. Cool. Just trying to avoid talking about the pack.
It's really hard to get where to sit on them.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel more comfortable sat further back. It's not too far back. I mean,
it's actually not too bad.
I'm a little further back. It's not as far back as you think, is it?
Yeah.
Outtakes, this is. Yeah. This is the video. This is it. We're not talking about the Veil XP. We're just hearing how to get comfortable in a chair. This is the content that people actually want.
Yeah, exactly.